I'm Pastor Aaron Lane, Associate Pastor here at St. Paul Lutheran Church. Worship is so central to who we are as Christians. We love to worship. It's not that we just have to, although God wants us to. He tells us in the third commandment out of the 10 that we are to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. But you see, we as Christians can't wait to worship. We worship every single Sunday. Every Sunday is like a little Easter. We rejoice in the fact that Christ has died, Christ has risen, and Christ is coming again. Now, Pastor Charlie and I went to seminary for 4 whole years in order to become pastors. We're not asking you to do that, but what we are asking you to do is to be leaders in our worship. As acolytes, you get to do so much. You get to assist. You get to do leadership. You get to be as a trustworthy person in our worship services. Every week, we put in hours of work getting ready for our Sunday morning worship. We, through this video, want to help prepare you for acolyting. Okay, so when you go to the back of the sanctuary, there's a nice little stairwell that will lead you all the way down to this wonderful place that we like to call the choir room. The choir room is where you will get your alb and your cincture. That is the appropriate dress for an acolyte. So as you go down the stairway, you'll see a wonderful thing. Oh, there's the choir room. Now when you go into the choir room, you can look to your right, see a bunch of robes and even a copier machine. But what you want is the room to the left. Okay, once you're in the acolyte room, you're going to find 2 things. 1, all of these robes. 2, all of these ropes called cinctures. Now, here's the thing. The robes all come in different sizes. So they come in different heights. They come in different widths. You need to make sure that you know which one is right for you. Go ahead and try on a few. This may mean you need to come a few minutes early to church to make sure you have an alb that fits. The last thing you want to do is have an alb way too short or an alb way too long. Way too short kind of looks embarrassing. Way too long, you could trip and set fire to the church, which is not really a good thing. Okay, so I found an alb that fits me well. I know you can't really see it from here, but it actually goes down to about my ankles. That's how long you want your robe to be. So if it's a robe, an alb is just a fancy word for a robe. So what you want to do is you want to find the alb that fits you to where the length is just about where your ankles are. You want to go ahead and zip it up and go ahead and attach that wonderful thing we call Velcro right here. Is it uncomfortable at first? Yes, but don't worry, you'll get used to it. The next thing that you want to grab, once you grab your alb, is you want to grab this rope, which is called a cincture. Now, sometimes, just like with a pair of pants, how you need a belt to kind of, I don't know, not only make your outfit look right, but also keep your pants around your waist, you also want this cincture because it does the exact same thing. A cincture is tied like this. First, take it, one end with the loop, one end with the 2 little knots at the end. This is just one singular rope. So what you want to do is make sure you double it up. Put these 2 knots together, and then you have your little end. Now for all you Boy Scouts out there, this should be relatively simple because what we're going to do is make what's called a slip knot. You take the end right here, you take the end that doesn't have the knots on it, put it right at the front of your waist, right where the zipper is, put it behind your back. Now at this point, this is what you'll do. Take this end right here, make a triangle. Take that triangle to right here, to the ends. Pull the loose triangle part out, and look at this, I've made a circle. Drop your 2 knots through the circle and pull. And what you've created is what we call a nice slip knot. With cinctures, make sure that you put the knot off to the side. You don't want it here, you don't want it behind you, you want it right about here, on your right hip or on your left hip. Good stuff. So here's the next thing when it comes to preparing for your acolyte duty. And that is this. You got to make sure that you dress appropriately. Now, what is appropriate dress? I mean, after all, we just did an alb, we just put on a cincture. What does it matter what we put on underneath? Well, it does actually matter what you have on underneath your alb and your cincture when you're acolyting. You see, today I have a nice shirt and tie on, but when I am officiating a service, I'll have on what you call a clerical collar, which signifies my role as a part of this faith community. It signifies my role as pastor. As a leader of our worship service and you're acolyting, you are a leader of our worship service just as I am a leader. And so we need you to also dress appropriately. Now, what is appropriate dress? You see, today I have a shirt and tie on. I also have my slacks, and I have nice dress shoes. That's perfectly acceptable. We would love it if you wore a shirt and tie if you're a boy, or a nice dress if you're a girl. That's okay. Do you have to? No, not exactly. But it would be nice if you could go at least business casual. And what I mean by that is at least some slacks, something other than jeans, something other than tennis shoes. It doesn't have to be a shirt and tie, but maybe a nice sweater or a shirt with a collar on it. Those kind of things would be nice when you're acolyting. Again, part of how we dress is a way that we show respect. And when you're acolyting, as you are participating in worship in a role of leadership, the way you dress will be a non-verbal way of showing everyone that you are taking this seriously as a leader in worship.